The Portuguese Empire played a key role in early modern trade and maritime travel. During their reign, they colonized multiple areas, including the most predominant one, Brazil. But how did they become to colonize these multiple areas? The first source of power came from trade: tobacco, cotton, and sugar. Portugal had an extensive colonial trading, and during the 15th and 16th century, Portugal was the leading European power because of trade and weaponry. It was the first empire to go global. Portugal was a monarchy, with Crown Philip I uniting the Spanish and Portuguese crowns and overseas empires under the Spanish Habsburg rule and the dynastic Iberian Union. The union with Spain later came to an end in 1668. How was life during the Portuguese Empire? The social structure consisted of two classes and based on the amount of land owned. There was a small traditional middle class of soldiers, merchants, and artisans, and above them were the aristocrats and leaders. When talking about the economic system, because they didn't have attractive goods suited for trade, they used military forces to create a trading post empire within the Indian Ocean, in places like Mombasa, Hormuz, Goa, Malacca, and Macau. Imperial ambitions were, rather than controlling territories, their goal was to control trade. Portugal wanted luxuries that weren't typically provided for it, such as exotic spices, Chinese silk, Indian cotton, rhubarb, and gems. However, the only major thing that the Portuguese Empire was able to control was the spice trade. Even then, it never succeeded in controlling more than half of it, and by the 1600s, the trading post empire declined due to competition with Asian states and Europeans. One of the major rivals with the Portuguese Empire included the Omani Europeans, who were located on the eastern coast of the Arabian Peninsula in northeast Africa. After Alfonso de Albuquerque, they set out into the Indian Ocean. Their port city was Muscat, which was also their capital, and they occupied this location for 143 years, later to be taken by the Ottomans. The decline. Loss of territory and overdevelopment and spreading out too much caused the Portuguese Empire to fail. The Portuguese Empire has a very important legacy. Because of their colonization, we have places like the Azores, Cape Verde, and most predominantly Brazil. These places have everlasting historic backgrounds because of the Portuguese Empire.